Yo guys, Beast back with some more beastly content. So today I wanted to tell y'all my plan on making 1 billion credits in one in-game day. That is my plan, that is my goal. Here is my Nip Nip system, full of Nip Nip bases. While we are nowhere near where we want to be, only having 2 Nip Nip farms currently in this galaxy, as well as a 10 storage container Nip Nip storage. It's also tied to my freighter, and the fact that my storage system is now entirely comprised of starships, and I only use storage containers for my farms because I want to be able to fill all 10 storage containers within a single in-game day's time from one harvest of all of my farms. That means I need to build enough farms to harvest all of them in one sitting and then instantly be able to turn that into 1 billion credits. So the way I am doing this, first things first, my Nip Nip farms are all powered off of Nip Nip energy due to the lack of a good power system in this game, especially when it comes to farms, and the fact that the freighter already gets 10k free power anyway. I went ahead and enabled free power, and then I build what I call Nip Nip generators. That's right, Nip Nip generators. Nip Nip generators are used to create an infinite source of power, being that it's completely renewable. And that is how everything is ran here. In the future, I might even go ahead and count by biodome how much Nip Nip needs to be used to grow so much Nip Nip and keep like a power cell of Nip Nip or something, but I don't know. The point is, I want to make enough farms in order to get myself 1 billion credits in a single harvest of all this farms. This would allow me to have essentially infinite money, and also, if you do not know, my playthrough on No Man's Sky when it comes to the save I'm playing on right now is known as the ludicrous life of the Nip Nip Geklord. I have a previous video titled A Day in the Life of a Nip Nip Geklord Multi-Millionaire. I would like to do a video somewhere along the lines of how I made 1 billion credits in Nip Nip in one day. However, we can't currently title it that because it wouldn't be very accurate. It'd really be a few days worth of storage container stacking, but it would be 1 billion. I think we're actually really close to a full 10 storage containers worth of Nip Nip right now. Unfortunately, and you will see this in the future, we might have to go out of system. Luckily, we have an entire transport freighter that is completely unscanned or detectable by the Sentinel Space Police. So do not worry, guys. Our freighter has cloaking technology that keeps all of the Nip Nip energy signals coming from our freighter hidden away, safe and sound, mainly due to the fact that our freighter is only a wireless storage access to our Nip Nip vault. That's right, we have a vault that we will be filling with Nip Nip, and I would like to have enough farms built and kitted out enough with enough plants in them that I'm able to harvest all of them and instantaneously fill that entire vault. Then take that entire vault of Nip Nip, that entire freighter, to any system with a good price on Nip Nip. This system, actually my Nip Nip system, turns out not exactly the best on Nip Nip pricing. I don't know if people come here and sell all the Nip Nip to trade terminals or what, but man, the price is down like 30% in this galaxy for some reason, and I do not know why. But anywho, and I also seen like a weird visual bug there or something, but I also want to mention this farm here actually has standing planters. This is just meant to have as a large scale carbon farm. I stuck these in my Nip Nip farm because I like to take carbon and dihydrogen and combine it in order to make facium so that I can continue to make these farms. That's where I get all the facium from. All of my materials in this are legitimate. The only setting adjusted in my settings is either I have turned up the combat difficulty and the space cop difficulty, meaning that we are more likely to get pulled over while carrying large amounts of Nip Nip, and our what is it, like cloaking technology, whatever it is that allows us to like trade scan, scrambler, or whatever the heck it is, that actually doesn't have a 100% chance to function. As a matter of fact, even if you sit there and spam it, sometimes the space cops will still find you with all your space weed. So, you know, guys, turning up the settings was just absolutely mandatory to fully be feeling the immersion and the roleplay of a Nip Nip Geklord who harnesses the power of Nip Nip energy to create extremely large Nip Nip farms. The motto of the Nip Nip Geklord goes something like this: if you don't have Nip Nip, then what do you really have? So as you can see here, this is my second farm. I've done videos over this previously. I also wanted to go ahead and show you what farms we currently have going. All of my farms are speedrun farms. This one is a full run. You can just run through the entire thing and not stop if you get the camera movement just right. As you can see there, we even picked up 224, but we didn't slide through the door there. There is every now and again a bubble-ish room like that because I also added some standing towers of Nip Nip on this project Nip Nip 1. This was my first large scale that I currently have. This is the oldest Nip Nip farm that is currently still in the run, still being used. I actually don't even know if it has a Nip Nip generator. I guess the entire farm is a Nip Nip generator because it's literally just Nip Nip. So I mean, what else do you want me to do? I guess I need to add a Nip Nip generator to this farm. I don't really have a proper one set up for this one yet. This one was just like the initial test run of what double biodomes can do for a Nip Nip farm. This one was like a little bit over 800 buds. I think this is an 800 bud plan. Farm. Also, as you can see here, when you go through them so fast, sometimes the Nip Nip doesn't load in. So do wait for it all to load in. If you go to harvest it and it goes to half load as you're harvesting, it could actually break your entire farm. So just a key note, if you do want to be following in my footsteps and become a multi-billionaire Nip Nip Geklords like me, then I do suggest waiting for the Nip Nip to actually completely load in. Don't harvest it if just one plant's loaded in the biodome. Now, if you only have one plant in the biodome, that's why. But if you have a full biodome of plants and you know it, wait for that to load, because if you don't, if it's like mid-loading as you're harvesting, it can bug out your entire farm, make all of your plants go down to stock growth size, and the only way to solve it is to unbuild all of your Nip Nip plants and replant them, or delete the base and start over. If you're wondering where Sky High Greens went, if you've seen that video, that's where. Now, like I said, this system's price on Nip Nip buds is abysmal. It's like negative 30%, which is really disheartening because, well, I built a trade station here in hopes of being able to sell my Nip Nip here at a safer location that would keep me safe from the space police, even if we were riding dirty. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so unfortunately, it does look like everybody here must already have a Nip Nip farm, that or they just all go and steal from my farm, and that's why no one wants to pay for anything here. I think what we got on our hands here, guys, is a bunch of low-down, dirty Nip Nip thieveries. So these guys must be stealing from my farm. They're wanting to pay me negative 30% on all my Nip Nip here. I guess I can't be selling in the same system I grow my Nip Nip in, because apparently it don't work out, guys. Negative 25%. What's that guy doing? He's got to be stealing on my Nip Nips, guys. There's no way that dude is not stealing on Nip Nips. Everybody here, they know it's the system. They get it. Okay, I get it, guys. I get it. Okay, it's an entire star system full of Nip Nip. Of course, people are going to want to know the glyphs and go to it. Once again, if you want to visit any of my systems, I also figured I'd go ahead and cover this so that any of you can visit this system at any point while we are working on this 1 billion credits in Nip Nip that we are working on. You only need to have one setting adjusted in your settings. It will set you to the custom difficulty game mode. Adjust any setting you want. You can even turn one up. You'll be in custom mode. However, the setting I suggest, and what I suggest doing, is go ahead and get yourself a Nip Nip generator, guys. You won't look back. Turn on free power. Start building Nip Nip generators. Then every time you build a base, you just got to build a reactor room or something somewhere. If you want to choose to, you can use wiring and wire up some light poles, power pylons, all sorts of things around your base to look more like it's being powered. Maybe even make it look more like a realistic and the real life look to it, like power lines running around. And you can do that because, well, the entire thing's free power anyway. But Nip Nip generators, guys, like I said, this is my point glyph base. This is where I keep all 10 of my storage containers. This is also where we are going to be unloading this day's harvest. This was a single harvest of the 2 current Nip Nip farms I have. Both of them are around 800 Nip Nip buds. per farm. We are gonna actually go ahead, and I do believe what we are doing here is just gonna go ahead and unload all of our inventory here. That is what's going on here, but I do believe I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, guys. We're gonna time lapse through this so you can watch me put up on my beautiful Nip Nip. We are actually just like under 150 away storage container wise until having it completely filled, and then I'll be doing a billion Nip Nip sales. So we'll be doing a 1 billion credit Nip Nip sale very soon, I do believe, in an upcoming video, because once this is full, well, I mean 1 billion credits, bruh. But anyway, I'm out, guys. Go ahead and leave a like on the video. Watch the rest of this of me putting up my Nip Nip. Maybe I'll even show you how much Nip Nip we currently got. But I'm out. See you. Keep it peace, mode.